Many Christians ask themselves, is sex beyond what is natural considered a sin? This question is among the most frequently asked in Christian circles and also among the most difficult to answer when it comes to the sexual life of a Christian couple. Before tackling the subject, I want to emphasize that we should treat it legitimately, without shame or dishonor. There is nothing wrong with seeking understanding on this subject. I know that many Christians, when they have doubts about anal sex, want to clarify them because they want to honor the Lord, maintain a clean and pure sexual relationship, and avoid carrying the weight of a guilty conscience. Therefore, doubts are legitimate. Furthermore, I believe that this subject should be treated with the utmost respect and reverence. Unfortunately, many pastors who approach this subject do so irreverently, fearlessly, and disrespectfully. Sex is something sacred, created by God to glorify Him, and should be treated seriously. When it comes to this subject, there are two very different lines of thought. One claims that the practice of anal sex is absolutely sinful, while the other argues that there is no basis in Scripture for considering it a sin. This makes the debate even more complex. Those who believe that anal sex is a sin argue that the body was anatomically created for natural sexual practice, which would be exclusively between the genitals. They claim that using body parts in any other way violates the original purpose. Others, however, cite biblical passages, such as Proverbs and Song of Songs, which talk about delighting in the body of one's spouse, including parts such as the breasts, indicating that there is room for other forms of sexual pleasure in marriage. However, Romans 1 makes it clear that practices that go against the natural use of the body are sinful. For this reason, I believe that anal sex is forbidden by Scripture, being compared to the sin of sodomy. With regard to oral sex, there are no explicit biblical texts that deal directly with the subject, but there are principles that can guide our reflection. Hebrews 13:4, for example, states, "Marriage and an unblemished bed are to be revered among all." This means that the couple's sexual intimacy must be free from impurity. Although the context speaks of adultery, we can broaden the understanding to include practices that are influenced by pornography or the excessive eroticization of society, which end up contaminating the purity of the marital relationship. Song of Solomon is another relevant source. This book describes the relationship between Solomon and Shulamite, including passages that show foreplay, caresses, and delight in each other's bodies. This indicates that sexual intercourse is not limited to penetration, but can include other forms of expression of love and mutual pleasure. Finally, 1 Peter 3:7 directs husbands to live with their wives with understanding and honor, recognizing their fragility. This implies that any sexual practice should be consensual, respectful, and never forced. In 1 Corinthians 7, Paul teaches that the couple should have sexual relations by mutual consent. Thus, sexual practices should be carried out spontaneously and genuinely, with both agreeing and feeling comfortable. If there is coercion or pressure, this constitutes sin. Therefore, in the case of oral sex, if both spouses consent, feel comfortable, and have a clear conscience before God, I don't see a problem. However, each couple must judge on a case-by-case basis, considering their intimacy and relationship. I hope this answer has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This is very important for us. May God bless your journey.